Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your love reading for mid-April to mid-May. So it's only a month time frame that we're looking at here. I think it's kind of confusing to see April and May in the title. It's not for 2 months. It's just the mid-month to mid-month. I am still a little bit stuffy, still trying to get well, but I wanted to get your reading out, your love reading out. So the way that this works is whose ever energy you're bringing into this reading, that's the energy that we're going to be looking at. So it can be your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, twin flame, soulmate. It can be somebody that you're just interested in, but you guys aren't together. So that's the energy. That's who we're going to be looking at. So we'll look at their headspace. We'll look what's in their heart space, their environment, and then the energy between the two of you. If you would like to get the extended where I clarify each position with tarot, there are 3 different ways to get it. You can go to Vimeo or my website or Patreon. On Patreon, you get all of the extendeds. So all of that information is in the description box below. Okay. So Sagittarius person's energy in their headspace. We have rebuild. So this is the Tower in the traditional tarot. So in your person's headspace, things are kind of rocky right now, probably really, really uncomfortable. Now, remember that this doesn't have to do with the relationship. This could be just what's going on in their life and what they're thinking about. It feels like there's a massive shift that's happening right now from like May 15th or April 15th to May 15th. Let's just say that, right? It looks like there is a massive shift that's happening, and it might be really uncomfortable. But we have to remember that every time we get the Tower, or when we get the Tower energy in a reading, that means that there's evolution that's happening. Sometimes we get the Tower because we refused to move forward on our own. So the universe is giving us that little push to move forward. Sometimes we are moving forward, but it's not turning out the way that we expect for it to turn out. So the Tower is all about the things that were really unstable, or the things that were unstable. It's like a course correction. And some things have to just crumble before you can move forward. It's all about the evolution. The Tower energy doesn't have to be scary, but whatever's happening in your person's life right now is a really big shift occurring. So let's see what's going on. Sagittarius person's heart space. Okay. So in the heart space, we have win or lose. This is actually the 5 of Swords in the heart space. Really, really interesting. The 5 of Swords for me, when I read the 5 of Swords energy, it is more of like deception of self, like you're lying to yourself. It could mean that other people are lying to you, and maybe other people are lying to you, but because swords are more thoughts and communication, I feel like this is more something that's happening within themselves. It feels very internal, especially because we have the Tower in their headspace. I almost want to say that there might be a feeling or thinking that things are worse than they actually are, or that things are going to turn out worse than they actually are. Maybe they are not so good right now, but I do feel like they're, in a lot of ways, they're more lying to themselves or deceiving themselves. And maybe even in their heart space, they're deceiving themselves. So let's see what's going on in Sagittarius person's environment. All right. Wow. So your person is having a difficult time, for sure. This is sadness and isolation in their environment. There's sadness and isolation. The 3 of Swords. So very interesting. Something painful has happened to them in their environment, or something is not adding up correctly or not adding up right in their environment. And no, I mean, it's funny because I always say, like, whatever's going on in the head space and the heart space, it's going to reflect in the environment. That's just kind of the way alignment works. When you are aligning yourself to certain ways of thinking or certain ways of doing things, that's what's going to be produced in the environment. So in some way, with the Three of Swords here and the Five of Swords, there's definitely some kind of painful realization that's happening for them, and they're having to be put back on course, and like they're having to take some type of course of action, or they're really thinking about needing to do that in order to get right again, in order to come out on the right side of things. So very interesting. So let's see what the energy is between the two of you. Okay. So we have observe. This is the Hanged Man in the traditional tarot. So the energy that's between the two of you could feel a little bit stagnant right now, but I can kind of understand why. I kind of feel like the reason why the energy between the two of you might be stagnant is because your person is dealing with some pretty rough things that are going on inside of them and going on in their environment. A lot of times that rolls over into the energy with the people that we care about the most. So, but with the Hanged Man, I always say the Hanged Man is about looking at things in a different perspective. And observe is definitely a different perspective. I feel like if things are kind of stalled in your relationship or in your energy between the two of you, that almost might be a good thing because you can actually look at things in a different way with each other. So allow yourselves to open up. Even in stagnancy, you can still like open up to each other. So allow yourselves to open up to each other. All right, Sagittarius, pretty heavy energy for whoever you're bringing into this reading. Remember, you can get the extended where I'll clarify each position and we'll see what's going on with this energy because it is really, really super heavy. You can get the extended on Vimeo. This is the last month that I will be using Vimeo. And then it'll only be available on my website or on Patreon. All of that information is in the description box below. I love you guys so much. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you for your May general readings. Bye.